Recording in 5, 4, 3,
Anal.
2.
Action.
Hello, everyone. I am your host, Nicholas Costas, and welcome to the first episode of the 72 Pins podcast. Joined with me today are Anthony Lorenzo, Kareen Cooper, and Nicholas Pucci.
What's up?
Indubitably.
What's up?
Yes, we will be discussing many topics relevant in some way to either some kind of nerd fandom, maybe someone spontaneously combusting, or just something that is noteworthy.
I agree so hard.
You agree so hard that it's good.
You agree so hard you're about to spontaneously combust.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah.
Okay, well let's start. Do we want to talk about the name first?
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Okay, so what is 72 Pins? How did I get that obscure name? Well, some of our listeners may or may not know this, but on the original NES cartridges, there were pins on the bottom of it on like the motherboard that would connect with the console when you put it in. And it's been counted that there are 72 of those pins. And I'm like, that's something kind of nerdy. That seems interesting.
Kind of.
Podcast name.
There we go. And I also like it because 72 is a good number. It's a good numerological number.
It is. So many things can go into 72. And then I realized,
Very true.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so let's launch right into the topics. We don't want to give anybody any dead air here. So
Yeah, that's
what are we thinking?
Never a good thing.
You want to talk about a topic close to your heart, Nick, and address our disclaimer?
yes. Being wrong on the internet.
Oh
That
dear
is-
Lord. Oh, that's
Yeah,
important.
Here you
exactly. What I mean by that is there will be a couple instances, even in this podcast, Anthony, you're doing
Aghast.
yes,
Aghast.
where we may say something that's wrong or is going to be changed in the future. Just going to go ahead and live that out. We're not always going to be 100% correct. We're kind of professionals, but we're not really at all.
Totally.
But-
I mean, we're only human, so we can't
Exactly.
make mistakes at all, guys.
Right.
And that's one of the things that I've come across, even with my own YouTube channel. I've had a couple things, where someone's putting me out and said, this is incorrect information, and you need to fix it. Although I intend to fix it, and I want to respect that person's opinion. Even if it may be a fact, I can't just go in and re-edit that one small segment of a video. It's already a video. Well, I probably could, but I just don't know how. So, in other words, I'm sometimes too lazy to fix it.
I think a good point, too, that we've touched on in previous attempts and conversations is, the internet is a sort of constantly evolving and continuously changing and advancing form of information exchange. It's the new era of word of mouth, and there's room to be wrong and there's room to correct yourself, and you just sort of gotta, I guess, evolve sort of a new sense of street smarts. You need web smarts, man. We're all a bunch
Yeah.
of flies caught in the web, man.
I mean, that is a two-way street when you think about it, the whole being wrong on the internet, because everyone is opinionated once again.
Very
So
true.
everyone will have their own opinion on things. And most people nowadays are very opinionated, and that is not a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
But there is
No.
a fine line between being opinionated and disrespectful to the point where it's like, I'm right, you're wrong, and you need to accept that. No, that is
There gets to be a point
Definitely.
where it's a bit too much, just to where it's even, when someone's so persistent on trying to prove you wrong, even though you have
factual evidence.
evidence, to back it up, and they have nothing. It gets to a point where it's just,
Not worth it.
you just can't tolerate it. You're like,
Yeah.
why are you going through all this trouble? Because
Yeah.
you're gonna lose either way.
See, that's also a good point. But then if you think about it, some people just enjoy trying to prove them wrong. They have that mentality of, I can't be wrong at all, because if I'm wrong, then I look like a jerk or a douche or something.
Right, or it insults my own intelligence, kind of a thing.
Exactly.
But really, the most intelligent people I think that I've ever met are the ones who are open to new ideas and the ones who are open to expanding their mind and changing their opinion if it's merited.
There you
Of
go.
course. But people like that they'll have a point, they'll stick with it, but then when someone tells them otherwise, they'll take that into consideration and analyze it, not just completely block it off.
Right.
Poochie, are you still alive?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay.
I haven't left at all.
Okay.
This is.
We
next
need you,
topic.
Poochie.
I
You need me?
care about you.
I'm needed?
Yes, you are loved and accepted in our lives, and we require your assistance.
You're
Why
being
do I
summoned.
feel like that we require assistance? Why do I feel like that's a StarCraft reference?
I don't know.
Like we require your assistance. That's like no. That's the tongue tied here. What am I looking for? That's the Protoss warning for their characters. We require your assistance.
Okay, did not know this, but okay. And another thing, Anthony, back to kind of your point, is that it's kind of the internet is just this big ball that contradicts itself constantly.
Yes, it's a ever rolling, snowballing mass of contradiction and hypocrisy.
You
Yes.
know what the origins of all this hypocrisy and the hate and the incorrectness of it? You know where it originates?
Humans?
Yeah, humanity.
Social media.
Oh, okay.
Oh, exactly.
Humanity is, what makes it, but social media is what kicks it off.
Yeah, I could agree with that, but on the other hand, social media might be the thing that's kind of rounding out the edges a little bit because, it's one of the few things. One of the few things contributing to the sort of the fall of the anonymity on the internet. Because before it was just a screen and a video of people you didn't know doing something dumb, and you got to go, "Oh, that's not me. That's hilarious." But as the time goes on, we're starting to realize, oh, these people have lives. These people are faces. These people are people. They have books on their faces.
Yeah.
See,
And
another issue is
I'd love to sink my teeth into that book.
problems is social media. Do you all remember the incident that happened not long ago where there was the Michael Brown case? You guys remember that?
Oh.
Long ago?
So,
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I do.
What is?
Do you know what made that situation much worse than it should have been?
Poochie, excuse me, Poochie. For those who don't know, would you care to explain?
Oh yes, I apologize for all of our listeners out there. What happened is Michael Brown was basically a young thug. He was was said to be a thief, not a good person. On the contrary to what was said about him, he recently robbed a store before the incident occurred. And he took some swishers, and so, for those of you who don't know, swishers are cigars, and basically what they're used for is they take the tobacco up and they roll drugs into it, smoke it. And
Right.
he was walking down the middle of the street, not the sidewalk, but the middle of the street, and an officer stopped him. And I know there's going to be a lot of controversy over this, but I personally have read over the evidence files and have looked at everything, and Michael got aggressive at the officer and tried to attack the officer and reached into the officer's car to try to wrestle with the officer and get his firearm. The firearm was drawn and Michael Brown was shot.
Yeah, but
Now,
according to who though?
what-
Cops kind of say that sometimes.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd like to say that
and
the views
witnesses and
the views
know,
and
the
opinions
video
expressed
in
by
the-
Poochie.
this is my opinions and this is what the evidence reports say, and there's video evidence of this and there's evidence to back up what I'm saying, so I'm
Okay,
not just
alright.
spitballing this.
I don't know the whole
For those of
story.
you who are conscious.
I haven't researched it. I don't know anything.
I didn't
I
say
don't
that,
know
Anthony. I'm not
No,
doubting
no,
what you say, but
I really, truly, that's the truth. I don't know anything about
oh,
this
I thought you were being sarcastic.
No, I was not being sarcastic. There was not being. No.
So for those of you out there who really want to say that, oh, I'm wrong, I'm just a no good douchebag trying to promote myself, The evidence files have been made public. If you do not believe me or what I am saying, read the evidence. I have proof. I am backing myself up.
Okay.
Well,
Anyways, what happened was social media, videos were taken, things were said, and it exploded. But what it didn't pinpoint is it did not pinpoint the fact that Michael Brown attacked the officer. What it did pinpoint though is that the officer shot Michael Brown, and it was
Okay.
a white officer and a black person. So there was racism. They say, oh, racism was involved. There was a hate crime, but that is not true. That is incorrect. But because of social media, that's what it was made out to be. And before official statements could be released, social media had already exploded with the topic and made it
have its
worse.
own idea. Yeah, it's like when social media got the gist of it, there was tons of rumors, and then when something was established, they just thought they were covering their behind it. And that happens with a lot of cases, with the Michael Brown case, the Trayvon Martin case. And personally, it's just always some sort of idea of when there is a white cop and a black male, it automatically screams racism to social media.
Well, that is a very good point. I mean, that's a good kind of
Sad to say, but I mean,
that's a good representation of Facebook, I think, because people take a little bit of what they hear and they make their judgments based on their preconceived notions, and they kind of do that socially too. They see somebody saying a certain thing and they go, "Oh, that person's attention seeking, or that person's full of themselves, or this person's whatever it is," and because it lacks context. You're just reading the words. You're just reading it through the filter of how you perceive it, and you don't get to experience where the person's actually truly coming from.
Yeah.
you don't get the whole picture.
Definitely.
Allow me to interject. This is a bit, I guess, just not really being wrong on the internet, but more just the contradiction of social media.
Yeah.
This is something that I have
think it all fits.
encountered several times, like on Instagram or Facebook or something, is that someone, normally it's a girl, I'm just saying this is what I...
Sexism.
No, I'm
Ooh,
not.
Here we go with the feminism.
You're about to bash on women.
No.
I'm just
it's
kidding.
We're just acting out those.
Anyway, that they will have some kind of Bible quote in their bio, right? Saying, something about, treat others as they should. That's not actual Bible quote, but I'm, putting it in a nutshell. And those are the people with that.
Nobody puts Bible in a nutshell.
Yeah, it won't fit. The nutshell will burst. But go on.
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
It's the same person with that in their bio who I see commenting on my photos, very derogatory terms, even on one of my YouTube videos. Let me call up the comment here. Actually, I'm gonna just be still talking, but anyway, I actually don't remember where it was. I'm getting trailed off. I'll have to go through my videos. Nah, I'm too lazy. Basically, on one of my videos, someone said something along the lines of, let's see, go kill yourself, you motherfucker. You deserve to rot in hell.
Oh my god.
Just go fucking die. I'm not kidding. That happened, and I was like, wait a minute. What did I do wrong in that situation?
Right.
Absolutely nothing. I don't even remember which exactly video it was, or which video it was exactly, but that was very irrelevant to the video. And even on some of my Instagram photos, people will, talk fun about me for posting some kind of Star Wars photo or something. They'll try to relate to it, even though I know them personally, and the fact that they are very opposed to that particular topic. And I'm like, why are you trying to fit in with me? Because I can tell they're just making fun of me, but they don't think I can tell.
Well, maybe that fits in with the sort of preconceived notion and looking at things through your own filter. I mean, maybe somebody's trying to reach. I mean, I don't know. I don't know these people specifically, but sometimes I'll take something and go, this person is fucking with me. Fuck this person. But then I think, like, well, maybe that exact sentence is just, like, that you could think is a total dig, is just sincere. You know?
First, I first took it as sincerity, then tried to connect with them on that sort of level, but
Right.
they just pushed it away and like, no, I was just trying to make fun of you. And I'm like,
You know what I've
oh,
noticed about Facebook is a lot of the time. Whoa! I thought Safe Search was on. I'm
Good job.
getting the most obscene results for a troll.
Hey,
Surprisingly enough. But I think a lot of people just want quick interactions, like quick sort of shallow. Oh, I like this too. And any kind of follow up is just like, oh, you want to talk though? Like, no, like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think that's your fault. I think that's a problem with the way that people kind of see it, which is it's still in this kind of maybe this middle ground of like, at least for some people, where it's not quite serious, it's not quite real life, even though a lot of things are taken too seriously on it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not quite this sort of game, and it's not quite this sort of anonymous forum either, because it can't be. So it's kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I see where you're going. It's one of those
Yeah.
And it's a popularity contest. It's you
Pretty
standing
much.
up in a room full of all the people you know and shouting something, and it's kind of like,
That's
okay,
all the internet is. Really.
is this something that I want everybody that I know to know? Is this something I want to tell everybody at once right now?
or is this something I want to,
Yeah.
slowly let out?
You gotta also through internet and everything. The way the communication is. I've made this mistake tons of times. Commas. This is pretty weird, but commas can change a lot of
Oh
things.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
they
would
can.
the way a different conversation would flow. Like people can misconceive anything with words when you're texting because they can't hear the way you say it unless you're sending a voice message. Is what I do often. But so there was in one incident with a whole comment section on a YouTube video, and one person was just being really sincere, and they didn't use commas or any exclamation points or any type of
Right.
punctuation, and it was just oh, this guy's a dick. But I swear, I went through it and I'm okay, wait, maybe he actually is being sincere. I put a comma after certain letters and corrected things, and I'm but this isn't actually that bad when you put it that way, and he wouldn't have gotten so much crap for it. So, just for the record, use commas.
Right. Use
Yeah,
commas. Use condoms. No glove, no love.
Exactly.
Maybe there's
was-
a certain way to tell, the people that are being rude and messing with you will not have proper punctuation because they're not going to take the time to be grammatically correct. They're just trying to hurt you. But the people that are going to be sincere are probably going to try to be grammatically correct. Maybe this is something we can in the next episode with follow-up do a small experiment on this.
Well, there's
Yeah.
definitely going to be some hate comments about what I said in the Michael Brown case, so we can definitely use that for a follow-up.
Very possible, yeah. This might be a great segue to start talking about trolls and how trolls
Yeah.
have really sort of
I was gonna
evolved
bring
over
that
the
up
years.
too, with the full comment thing.
Because the first instance of trolling that I'm aware of on the internet is rickrolling. It's
There you go.
It's a
Yeah.
playful, funny. Oh damn it! But you don't really hate the guy, and you don't. And there's nothing mean about the video itself. It's just you think you're about to see Keira Knightley topless, but it's Rick. And then I think that it started becoming that idea of I'm joking. It's not serious. It's not real. It kind of infiltrated, and I think somewhere over the time it got mean-spirited. It became an excuse to just I can say whatever I want under this guise of it's not real, it's not genuine, it's not what I really think, but nobody else knows that. They just see a bunch of hate plastered up on a page that they want to be on.
Pretty much. If I may, add, I was
Please do.
I was streaming. I was playing League with a friend, and we were all mic'd up and everything. And then we swap over, because I also enjoy the Call of Duty. So we're on Xbox playing Call of Duty and everything. And there's this kid. He trolled us so hard. And now I think of this. This is trolling at its worst when I think about it now.
Excuse me.
The one kid said he was on his dad's Xbox, and his dad took him away from his mother. Now that I really think about it, I literally just thought of it. But this happened about a few months ago, and the kid was saying, I was at my mommy's house, and my mommy and daddy got into an argument, and then my daddy took me, and now I don't know where my mommy is, and I'm supposed to be with my mommy, and I'm with my daddy right now, and someone needs to call the police. We had literally a lobby full of people not believing this kid, and he was so convincing. And like he convinced the whole lobby, and we're still in the lobby. And like it got to one person who called the police. He gave us an address and everything.
Wow.
The police came to the address. We could hear it, and he was like, "I'm just kidding, you guys killed him." He left. I'm like,
That
gave
is-
me a heart attack.
Wow.
Like, I was scared for this kid.
See, that's
I
kind of
agree.
dangerous.
Yeah, that is because that can be.
That is really dangerous.
It is, especially not just the what he said, but giving out his address nonetheless. That
Oh,
is
Yeah.
something that
Exactly.
is.
That's
Because one of those people could have, actually in the future make a problem like that happen.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
and
that
be
the
like this is payback or something, which would be trolling in of itself, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, I mean, I was just on a lobby with there was like the FaZe clan and the few Optic members, and we were just chilling playing Call of Duty. And then that happened. This one kid was already in the lobby when we got there, but he didn't say anything. He was like not even like. And then as soon as like we were like picking map, he started crying.
And that's a thing that you have to be careful with today is, what level of seriousness are people going to...
Go just for
Implement.
the fun.
It's like, if that happens, say if you're on Omegle or something, or any kind of website where you have an interaction with a stranger or someone that you maybe seldomly know, they could just be so convincing, and it's just, how do you know when to take people seriously now?
right.
Scary.
No, it's true. I think the internet is making us a little wiser to certain things, but it's also making us very gullible because it's sort of everybody has a say, and it's hard.
Sorry.
It's hard to verify things. There's not a lot of accountability. And the other thing is that, the weird thing about trolling is that I don't quite get I mean, I like to troll sometimes, but in subtle ways or ways that I think are funny, not just hateful. Because I don't see what's hateful about just posting a bunch of racist, homophobic, anti-parent, whatever it is. Go fuck your mother. I don't see the point of that. It's not clever. But it creates... Oh, no, I've lost my thought. It creates this mentality of like... no. Okay, that's what I'm going to... Sorry about that. Oh, God. Somebody else pick it up. I'll take my
Does
thought.
it
I'll take my...
create like
find
a
my
sense of
thought.
insecurity?
No, what I was gonna say was that, damn it! Oh, I keep getting it and then losing it. You guys ever do that, where you keep
Yeah.
Yeah.
you find the thought and then it
Don't
keeps
worry,
going
you know
away?
My life.
Okay, so basically, it's like, what's the goal? Like, oh, you can say something, and then it's not really your level of manipulative ability. It's just sort of like people will take you for what you're saying, and then somebody will respond and go, "Oh, you're blah blah blah," and then somebody else would go, "Ha, you're stupid because he was trolling," and it's like, well.
Exactly.
I guess, but I was really just responding to this information that I saw,
Yeah.
and then maybe I was trolling, and then everybody's trolling. It's like if you're wrong, if you've been caught in a lie, I was just trolling. Like, what was the point of your
Yeah,
troll?
you just, like,
I don't know what I'm talking about.
no, you're onto something there. You're onto something. Like,
Okay.
people try to hide behind it.
Yeah.
Like, if they're wrong and people are, like, calling them out for being wrong, oh, it's just trolling. It's an all big prank, guys. It's fine.
Right.
Which in reality, it's not.
It's really not. I don't see why people would do that. To hide behind something like that. Just because they're
Because
wrong.
People are afraid of the
People are
truth.
very afraid.
Mm-hmm.
They're afraid of the consequences that will follow.
Indeed. I agree.
Yeah.
Moving on, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is probably a good time for me to segue into my Nicholas's paper cut corner.
Oh, okay. Do you want to
Yes.
explain the segment a little bit?
Of course, this is where I basically just get to complain for about 5 minutes, just about whatever bugs me or grinds my gears or, does not float my canoe.
Okay.
So, the first thing that I'm going to address is actually kind of relevant. Is that when I'll get someone Skype and I'll talk to them and start to establish somewhat of a healthy relationship,
Sure.
And then, for no reason, they will just either block me or remove me from their contacts. And it just infuriates me, and it hurts.
For sure.
And sometimes I'll message them and ask, why did you, block me or remove me? And said, you never talked to me. I'm like, well, your status was always either away or offline. And I typically try to take that into consideration and say, okay, so this person, is obviously not able to talk, so I need to respect that. But
Right.
when they don't add you back and you explain, why, it's like, oh, you were always offline. I'm like, no, I wasn't. It just kind of makes you mad at the person. You're like, then, why? Why couldn't you just simply change your status? And we could have avoided this whole thing. Or sometimes people will be online and I'll message them and just be like, hi, just trying to carry on a civil conversation. Then they'll remove me and I'm like, we never even talked and I tried to reach you, but you failed to comply, so why did you do this?
I'm not sure how it...
Well, what are your thoughts, Kareem?
I see exactly where Nick is coming from on one end of the table. And there's that other end like that, because, with my whole gaming thing, I get at it all the time. I'm not saying you're one of those people, Nick, because I know you're not. You are a great person. But there are those people that, they do the spam friending and everything like that. And, someone, they may have a lot of notifications on their computer. And they remove any and everything that is unnecessary. Not saying that you are unnecessary, Nick, but to them, since they don't talk to you and you don't talk, or when you reach out to them, they may be busy or don't feel like responding, laziness, who knows. They just probably like, we don't really talk much. I'm pretty sure he won't care because we don't talk much. Let me just remove them.
Right. That's very true.
And I try to at least contact them at least once, either daily or every 2 days. Normally, that's, I'll still get a response from them, but when I don't, I just kind of see, I'm like, okay, so this person just clearly doesn't want me in their life, and I have to respect that.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Because I've had an incident in the past where I got too overly attached, and was actually the cause of someone pushing me out of their life. I'm not going to get too into that, but it was something I regret. I'll put it that way.
Keep going on this paper cut corner, not get sad corner.
The paper cut corner. But another thing is when I'm blocked on any form of social media, I'm like, it's just kind of like, why? What did I do to you? What is your motivation for doing that? Some people,
what I think it is not everybody is for everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And most people are not for anybody. No, that's not true. But most people are not for everybody. And I don't think anybody's for everybody. I mean, unless it's like we can all agree that we like to pick on Justin Bieber. But is not, I think that's personally.
He's Canada's problem.
Yeah. I personally feel bad for the Biebs because that dude can't go anywhere without just everybody feeling like he's a jackass. And he's like, what is he, like 20? Kids do stupid shit.
Like that.
He's done everything that probably someone else has done, but people have done worse. It's just once again,
like
being judgmental.
Yeah.
This is my paper cut corner. You can have your own later.
Oh, sorry. We can address our hurt for Bieber later.
Okay.
Yeah. But I'll try to. I'm gonna wrap it up here in a bit. But like I said, like you were saying, Anthony, not everyone's for everyone. It's kind of another thing is that my social anxiety and just overall Asperger's diagnosis will kind of cause me to become anxious, to be like just spamming them like, why'd you do this? Which sometimes will annoy people. You can tell which people are the good people because they're the people that'll be like, oh, and the other people that don't, I feel like they're the worms in my life that need to stay outside of my wall.
Okay.
And I'll now close my paper cut corner and go grab a Band-Aid.
Okay.
Not really. I don't need one.
Well, I'll pull one up for you anyway in case you need it.
Okay, thank you, Anthony.
You're welcome.
Search Band-Aids.
Speaking of Band-Aids, apparently you can sell used Band-Aids on eBay.
That's gross.
Exactly. That's gonna be for mention that.
Welcome
What's
to
I know Poochie had a topic.
Poochie, you're so quiet.
Yeah, Poochie,
I'm
what's-
being quiet. I don't know why I'm being quiet. Normally I'm more talkative than this.
We know you can talk.
Oh, there's a potato that looks like a butt on eBay.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, so you can buy this on eBay?
I mean, at some point in time you could. It's probably gone now.
I need my lines. What was my topic I wanted to talk about?
Something about being buried.
Oh
Being
yes.
buried? Oh!
Wait, what?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, let's move on to that.
So I was talking the other day with my friends here about different ways I wanted to be buried. And
So positive about it.
He's excited.
I was like, I wanted to be. It was really good, guys. You guys remember what I said?
I
Nerdy
think,
like used to be buried in, I think.
I think it came down to TARDIS and
Beautiful.
No, it was my
Han and
refrigerator.
Carbonite.
The
Beautiful.
refrigerator thing that I came up with. Like, which refrigerator would you rather have? TARDIS refrigerator or
Right.
Han and Carbonite refrigerator? Then Poochie mentioned coffins.
Well, I think what I had said, my response was maybe don't go with, like, if you're going to do that in your kitchen, it's going to be there all the time. Like, maybe go with the Han Solo thing because it's a little broader. It's a little, I think, in my opinion, it's a little cooler. But then you're like, all right, I'll just be buried in the TARDIS. And I was like, oh, well, maybe go with the Han thing for the coffin. Like, you're going with one for sure. You're going to be buried in one for sure.
Oh no, I did. That's not. I think you guys got it confused. That's not how I wanted to be buried.
Oh.
Carry on.
That'd be
Yeah.
cool though.
I'll let you do it.
Explain.
Basically, what I wanted to do was, I've been a freak about aviation forever, and I'm posting this on YouTube, right?
Huh?
This is going on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So, if anybody else out there, any of our viewers are like aircraft nuts and play a game called Flight Simulator X on PC, I will leave my email address in the description below and get with me, and we will fly together. Anyways, besides that point, I wanted to find an old Cessna 172 Skylane. For those of you aircraft enthusiasts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's basically the plane that anybody who will fly planes will start to learn on.
Which one? Cessna which?
Is Cessna 172 Skylane. Or Skyhawk, one of those two. And it's basically the symbol of aviation. Everybody knows what a Cessna looks like. Well, most everybody knows. And I wanted to find an old one, have the wings and tail cut off, and then have me but put me in a coffin, behind a box or something, just something simple.
Simple.
And then put me in the cockpit, take all the chairs and the electronics and everything out, and then sink just the main hull of the aircraft into the ocean and let it sink.
Wow.
That's pretty thought
The
out.
cool thing about those are the dual modules. That's when they first got introduced.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I do like that idea.
Like, that's kind of a morbid topic, though.
It is.
It is, but I think it's
It
fun.
has its own.
'Cause- I mean, the plane thing isn't quite as nerdy, but it definitely takes some dedication and some passion
to
get into. I'd say that, like, it addresses the feeling that a lot of us have, which is, nerd till you die, and then beyond.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want my coffin to be me frozen in carbonite. Like,
Oh, that's cool.
You see,
like I'm pretty sure by the time I die, hopefully we can actually freeze people like that, and that would be great.
Like, it'll just be
Well,
you
did you
frozen
know-
in carbonite. You could that could be somebody's decoration in their house.
you could be on the light
Yeah.
fixture, Nick.
Yeah.
Like, someone
Chandelier.
could buy his body frozen in carbonite.
Yes, and wasn't it you're frozen in carbonite, like you're frozen, you're not really dead, you're frozen. Like if I got frozen before I died, I could just be in
Chilling.
stasis.
No
And-
pun intended.
Yeah.
Chilling.
I could just be in stasis for 100 more years and be like, oh, by the way, I never really actually died. Hi, I'm from the past.
Whoa.
What'd you get for a joke?
Well, did you know that they are starting to develop a way to it's cryogenic stasis, and you guys, and for those of you who don't know what that is, basically, they take your body, they dip you in this liquid, and they inject your bloodstream with this chemical that keeps it from freezing. Basically, like super advanced antifreeze, and then they freeze the chemical that your body's in, and then you can. They're saying that if they provide supple nutrients to your body and keep your bloodstream flowing, you can stay in that stasis for hundreds of years.
I don't
So
know
they're
if I would
thinking.
trust the government to keep me.
They're thinking about this is the new form of space travel. They're
Wow.
going to freeze people, and then they are already in development of engines that run off of solar generated power, so
Oh,
that
that's
we would be
scary.
able to travel to deep space
Yeah, I agree. That no.
within and
Well, it's been cloudy for 3
bodily,
months,
a
so
month
everybody's
would pass
dead
on
now.
our bottle.
Pretty much. That would.
So our bodies will only have aged a month, but we would have traveled 200 years. Is what they
Wow.
want to do.
So,
that's
but you
scary. I
would
don't-
still have a life
Span, normal
span.
lifespan.
There you
yeah.
go. Wow. Yeah, you'd still have a lifespan.
Oh yeah, normal lifespan.
It'd just be way
But-
longer. Like you could live for a day
You
at a
have-
time and only age a month every 200 years.
That would confuse everything. That would involve new calendar. That's too
No.
complicated.
See, the people who want to do that, though, would have to be complete volunteers.
Yeah,
Because once you leave, there's no going back.
I see what you mean. I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that because Kareem would not trust the government to keep him alive with the proper fluids and everything.
Now, why does Korean not trust the government to do that?
I wouldn't trust my mother to do. To be honest, I don't trust anybody to keep me
Okay.
alive because my sole
Would
purpose.
you trust yourself?
Yeah, exactly. I know Kareem knows what Kareem wants.
Okay.
So, and only Kareem can handle that. So that's just personal things.
Hey, Kareen,
Go on.
it sounds like you're saying Korean.
Yeah, I'm totally saying Korean. So the Koreans
I know, but
only
it sounds like you're saying
I
Korean.
I may trust the Koreans to take care of Korea.
But I'm just saying, be a little careful. Because you sound like you're saying Korean.
Kareen is my name. If you took
I know,
out
but
one
you
of the
sound
E's,
like-
Nick, hey, I know where you're getting at. I'm trying to make light of this. Kareen is my name. It was announced in the beginning. Now, if you would like to call me Korean, you would have to legally change my name by taking out an E and adding an O. If you
Or
would
an-
love to do that,
or an A.
If you would love that too, I have an A there in the exact spot. Probably. No, let's just face that. I am Korean. I am not a country. I am a human being. Then,
Yeah, let's
oh
go ahead
wait,
and establish
not that the Koreans are not people too.
We get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, you were a country, not people, but there are people of that country.
So I wanted to talk about a few new movies that are coming out.
There you go. I
Let's
watched
just
all
move
of the
on.
trailers.
Yeah, did you guys watch
Literally.
the trailers?
Oh,
It didn't.
I don't think I did actually. I was.
shame on you.
Oof. Well, let's
I'm-
let's start with Ghostbusters.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and lay this down. I do not like the new proton packs.
Okay.
Just gonna go ahead and say it.
Okay. Well, I've always loved Ghostbusters. You know, I was Mr. Puff Puff. Imagine me skinny, the ages from 5 to literally like 12. I was like 4'11", 90 pounds, and like a gigantic Mr. Puff Puff costume. I was a rolling Cartman from South Park, basically. And I loved it. I've always loved it. Now I'm excited because it's completely new to me what they're doing.
Yeah.
And usually when it comes to things like sequels and everything like that, I'm like, let me just watch this and see if it was better than the first one, which rarely happens. But with this, watching the trailers, and I even went to when I was at Comic-Con, this got mentioned a lot about it, and it was just like so hyped up, and it's actually may be able to live up to the hype, and I'm pretty excited to see what they can do with it all.
Okay.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Like with you can't really watch it and just be like, oh, I wonder if it's gonna be better because it's this whole new thing. Like with the new RoboCop.
You can't compare it.
You know,
Can't compare them.
that's what I said.
Wait,
No,
is Bill Murray gonna be in the new one?
Yeah.
I don't.
Because Bill Murray is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no, I know.
He
Him-
made that
him and
movie
Harold
the way it
Ramis.
is. Him and Harold Ramis, yes.
Yeah, that's
And-
true.
You really
And
can't
Dan
have
Aykroyd.
a new Ghostbusters
Of course,
without
Dan Aykroyd.
the original Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Oh,
get
my-
where you're coming from with that, but I
No,
think
I
it'll
agree.
be interesting to
My
be
soul.
for it to be an all-female cast. But I am curious as to what the Ectomobile is going to be, because if we've already
Oh.
changed the proton packs, I'm like, it's not that I just I hate the design. It's just that it feels too.
Well, I mean,
guess-
as much as we're used to the design, I mean, it was a part of the story. They didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
money. They went to some random. I forget. Oh man, I can't believe I forget how they got the thing. But it was like an auction or something, right?
Yes.
And
no, it was like the I'm talking about the proton packs
Oh.
with them. It's like in the original they actually built them, but
Right.
the new ones it looks like they just milled it in a factory or something. It doesn't have that.
well, that
genuine
makes sense
feel.
too. I mean, at this point, the Ghostbusters are a staple in society. They've saved the city from total destruction
Exactly.
twice. So
now
they're
now they have the money
True.
for things.
though it's still a family business. So who knows about that? But
Yeah.
now
I think
my only issue that I take with it is it's not that they're women. It's the fact that it's like, oh, it's new Ghostbusters. So it's like you guys
Yeah.
are saying, it's going to be a new thing. It's not really about, oh, women can't be Ghostbusters or women can't be funny. It really has nothing to do with their gender. It's the fact that it's a new cast, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I want to sit through that at all. Like,
It depends.
The thing is
because Ghostbusters
they're
is
not
Ghostbusters.
even going with the original storyline. They're going
good.
with
That's
same
good and
idea, different storyline, where they're gonna have Bill Murray play as a ghost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes,
Is
and
he
he's
a ghost?
haunting.
He's a ghost of his character, though, right?
Yes, he's a ghost of his character, but
Wow.
he's gonna be haunting the remaining crew.
That's cool.
Which is what I said. I can't compare it. It's just going to be a new spin on everything, and I'm just like, part of me is like, eh. Part of me is actually like, this could actually turn out good. And
Yeah.
it's a small possibility, but
But-
you'd be surprised what Ghostbusters can pull off.
At the
Yeah,
same
see,
time,
yeah.
if they mess this up, it would ruin the Ghostbusters forever.
I agree.
Well, I don't know, though,
I
'cause
wouldn't say forever.
I
but
wouldn't
it
say a
would-
sequel has ever made me hate the original.
It would ruin the new idea of what the taste
Yeah,
of it. They wouldn't be
or-
able to continue it.
Yeah, it might throw a reboot off, but it's like they don't need to reboot the Ghostbusters. It's like rebooting Caddyshack or rebooting.
It's just been done one too many times.
Did they reboot
like-
Caddyshack?
I think so.
I think so.
Yes,
I think they did sequels. Did they really? Did they make a Never mind.
remake?
I don't want to know. I don't
Oh,
want
okay. Alright, Ghostbusters is now finished, I believe.
Did y'all see?
to.
I get where you're coming from. Did y'all see the RoboCop film, the new one?
I hate it. Sorry,
Did you really?
I do.
I didn't
Because
see it.
I've seen the original RoboCop.
This is not supposed to be. This is a complete. It's a reboot. It's not. They're not supposed to stick with the original storyline. It's kind of a slight alteration. I liked it.
I didn't see it, so go
For,
ahead and spoil
for
it.
those people who have seen the original RoboCop and then watched the new one, they're just like, eh.
Right. Well, because they just
I
made it
know.
shinier, right? Like they took an
Shinier.
original idea and they made it pretty,
There you
and
go.
they lost
I mean-
some of the content. Probably. I haven't seen
The-
it, but I can
The
assume.
thing is,
That's like
that
just like making 6 Fast and Furious movies.
7.
Hey,
or
hey, hey.
10,
I'm sorry,
or-
7.
7. Hey, those.
7 Fast, 7 Furious.
Yeah,
I mean-
those were good. They all
I
followed
know
the
it's
same line.
good, but it's so overdone.
It was
Yeah.
drawn out, but it came out good.
Well, Pooch, you have to remember also that in the new RoboCop film, he was a lot faster. That was a huge problem in
Okay.
the original. Is that he was so slow.
Yeah. Also, I was at Comic Con, and before Comic Con even happened, there was a leaked trailer for this Deadpool, and I am extremely excited for Deadpool. Anybody who knows me knows I own comic books, every posters, memorabilia, everything, and like I can grab any Deadpool item that I have in my room within arm span reach
Oh,
whenever I
okay.
need it. So there, for some reason, he's been getting idolized, and
He-
Thor's
He has
Yeah.
become very mainstream, I've noticed. Everybody knows about Deadpool, but I don't mind. I think it's awesome. I personally wouldn't know about it if it wasn't so mainstream because I'm not that hardcore, I hate to say. I mean, I'm hardcore with some nerddoms, but
Yeah.
I don't know enough about comics to be like, "Oh, I knew Deadpool before it was." But I do really really dig Deadpool. And I think that this new movie is
He
going to
brings a new
be
spin.
Who doesn't dig a psychomaniac mass murderer?
I know who breaks the fourth wall and who's kind of like comically, satirically zany and like
Yeah,
kind of
he
looks
can-
like Spider-Man had a fight
Oh,
with the Punisher and then he took his stuff.
Pretty much, I found it really funny how they put him in. Don't quote me on this. I think it was the Avengers for one little scene. And he was but he wasn't masked or anything. He was just a background character. And apparently,
Okay.
in the new movie, he's gonna talk about how he didn't like because Deadpool speaks in the third person a lot, and he talks about himself in previous movies all the time. So
Oh, that's
now that
funny.
he's in his own movie, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be something along the lines of, "I didn't like how you Avenger people portrayed me." So it's
What is that confirmed or is that a theory?
It's
What was that?
confirmed. It's confirmed. That
Oh.
was a theory.
Hey, did you guys make that noise?
videos?
Which
What
noise?
The dun dun.
No. I think you're
My computer was just made this boom.
It was because
Noise.
it's because Deadpool is awesome.
It's yeah,
No,
Deadpool
it's
is
like-
just that epic.
Guys,
no,
I'm serious here. Like my computer just made
I'm
that random
serious
noise.
too.
Deadpool is fully aware that he's a character. He knows that we're talking about him because, as characters go, they only exist when they're in the minds of people presently. So he's present right now. He just infiltrated the podcast and made your computer go dun dun.
He's gonna talk about it in the movie probably too.
I hope so.
Yeah.
What is the? You guys know what the asterisk sound is for Windows?
Asterisk.
No.
I
Oh.
do not. I am not a Windows user. I'm sorry. I don't. No crap towards Windows.
I think we should move on to my nerd juicing segment now. The new Star Wars film, Force
Yes.
Awakens.
Yes, let's talk about the Comic-Con videos.
Let's
Or
go.
just the trailers in general or our theories.
everything.
Okay.
Everything.
Can we start with the Comic-Con videos? Because I was pretty
Yeah,
excited
of
to
course.
watch those.
Yeah.
Can we start with why the hell was there so much reverb on
Oh my gosh!
the
Don't get me
Emperor's
started.
performance?
What do you mean?
There was just so.
At the end, I forget the guy's name. I wish I knew it.
Ian McDermott?
Yeah, Ian McDermott. At the end of his interview, he gets up and he reads Star Wars Shakespeare as the Emperor, but there's so much reverb and echo on it, it just destroys the whole thing. Like, he does it so well, but the sound guy was just didn't know what he was doing. It was like,
Yeah, the mixing. for that
yo,
was horrible.
yo, yo.
It was like he was screaming into a cave.
Yeah,
That-
dark, 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 dark. Side,
I actually-
side,
you know,
side,
I don't-
side.
I was not aware of this. I'm sorry to admit it. Is this something from Comic-Con?
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
new Comic-Con interviews with all
That-
the cat.
oh.
Oh man, you got to get on that.
Yeah,
I
I
will
thought you were
send you the
talking
link.
about something that was earlier. Yeah, I was
is
like,
why-
wait a minute. But yeah, I don't know why there was that. Perhaps the sound guy just was not prepared for that
retarded.
to happen.
I don't know. I think he was like so into it because probably the sound guy was an amazing like fan of all of this, and he put his
Yeah.
elbow against the Rebirth slide switch.
Oh.
That
Can you
thought-
guys hear me better now?
yes,
Yeah.
actually.
A little bit.
You guys can hear me better?
I
no
I can hear
difference,
you
yeah.
now completely. If you were asking if we could hear you before, we couldn't hear you at all.
No, I'm
Yeah.
serious. Like, I found out my default recording device was different than the one I normally use.
Well, we can hear
Oh.
you fine.
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Yeah.
So I changed it.
It sounds
I
better.
want to know
Yeah,
if it sounds better.
it sounds more clear.
Because-
Yeah.
My webcam has a microphone, and that's what was set to it.
Ew.
And I just set my
Integrated
headset,
types.
set my headset mic to default device.
There you go. Good boy. Good
I'll
boy.
tell
Moving
you
on.
one thing that is
Back to
making
Star
me
Wars.
really happy about the new Star Wars films is that they're that there's very little CGI. Like you saw it in the behind the scenes videos.
Practical
All those
effects.
stormtroopers, their armor is real. BB-8, the ball droid, like you said, is a practical effect.
Right.
You know they're doing it right. I mean, it cannot be as bad as the prequels. That's one thing we have to keep in mind. But
Yeah.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
we-
no, I'm optimistic about it. I mean, as I've told you guys before, my capacity to become excited for Star Wars is sort of like I don't have it anymore. It's not in me to feel that. But I think that J.J. Abrams might instill a new hope in me.
Well, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
But I considerably hope that Disney does
Considerably
not mess
a
this
new
up.
hope.
No,
Really, Anthony?
not a new hope. But if Disney messes this up, the Star Wars community will hate on Disney so hard.
Was this not part of our conversation last night?
It was, but the audio was ruined, so we had
I
to
know. I'm
recreate it.
just saying how.
Wait, did you guys do it? Did you guys do a recording session without me?
Maybe. I think that's why it failed. I think Destiny did not
Probably.
want us to exclude
Yes,
Poochie.
but yeah, I was saying that for the simple fact that Disney is like slowly sucking everything in as if it's a dark hole. Now, don't get me wrong. I do have a small Disney side because I have nieces and whatnot, and I go to Disney every summer. Disney here. You guys know what I mean.
Yeah, Disney's cool. I mean,
Yeah, anywhere. So
Walt Disney was but whatever.
revolving around all of this, they're stealing. I wouldn't say stealing. No, they're taking their own spin on Star Wars. Cartoon Network did it. They did it. It was okay, but now that Disney's doing it, I feel as though, and I'm not going to steal Anthony's line, but I'll let him get to that. But the whole the princess thing and tons of stuff, they're just going to babyfy it.
Right.
And it was heading into a much bolder connection with the people, just like with all the new superhero movies. Before Marvel and everything, they would not do like a rated R film really, because all the fan base. Deadpool's gonna be R rated. I can say that right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
It seems like it's going to.
I'm
feel
bouncing in my chair
that-
right now.
that they don't really, they probably won't mess it up because after all, it is J.J. Abrams who's directing it, and he is a very big true to heart Star Wars fan.
Oh, yeah.
He's the one who's like, no, we're building all the sets for this film, and a lot of people complained that the new Star Trek films were too much like Star Wars, and even
Very
you point
true.
out, Anthony,
Yeah.
he was like, this is our Tatooine Two Sons moment, and he was in an interview, and he has actually put R2-D2 in both Star Trek films for whatever reason. But
Did he really?
I mean, yeah,
Where?
I don't know exactly. I know the second one, I think, is when like the Enterprise was being either ripped apart or something. He's in it very briefly, and he's in the he flies across the viewport window of the Enterprise in the first one as well, very briefly. But I feel like he's gonna do it justice. He's like using practical effects. He's giving us we're having the original cast, but I feel like this will be the only film with him in it because it'll soon be passed on to Daisy Ridley and John Boyega and and Adam Driver.
I do
Yeah.
not knock Adam Driver though. I do not.
Really.
I really don't. I mean, you got to look at it from their point of view too, because in the end result, are they fans? Yes, but do they want to make money, and are they going to go for what draws more attention? The kids that are sitting there watching their favorite TV show in the afternoon, which leads into that, and they'll sit there and watch it and enjoy it, or are they going for the diehard fan?
Can we talk about how the Sith Lord's called Kylo Ren? Why is he not a Darth?
Please.
Has he not earned it? Is there going to be some kind of character arc?
I'm waiting. I have
he
not
might-
decided.
No.
I'm not sure.
No one's really.
His
actual evidence for either side of this.
the story is that with the current thing, the First Order, it's no longer the Empire. That essentially a lot of the original Jedi Order and Sith Order has crumbled, so they've had to revert back to the first original origins of the Sith and the Jedi. That's why the new weapon. Then I'm going to go ahead and clarify this. Kind of going to tie this in all together. Actually, if you've seen the hilt of the new lightsaber, it's not like properly milled like Luke's was, either of his or like Obi-Wan's. It's looks like it's been just a bunch of parts thrown together. And if you look at the blade in the trailer, it's very unstable. Almost looks like a spinning fire, if you will. And the thing for the cross guards, they're actually not cross guards. They are exhaust ports because of how much power and energy is being put into the blade. And it's to
that's interesting.
it. Because if not, the weapon will essentially explode. So I'm not sure if I think in the second trailer, there's one clip where all 3 blades are ignited, and then the second one is just the made one because it didn't need that much. It's like it was stable enough.
So it's like he can
that's kind of interesting.
He has power settings. That's kind of cool.
I think so. Yeah.
The one thing I don't know how I feel about is that he really reminds me of Darth Revan a lot.
I think the mask looks like Plo Koon. It looks like Plo Koon's face a little bit.
Okay, let me pull that up.
There's a comparison on Google Images, I believe.
Yeah. But I feel
like a Keldor. Yeah, a little bit. Does have a Keldor kind of feel to it.
Yeah. But I find that interesting. Why isn't he a Darth? Or maybe he is, but it's just not revealed yet. And there's been another theory that he's an Inquisitor trying to become a Sith Lord.
Okay, yeah, see, I would like that. I would like sort of because in the last one you got to see Luke turn into a Jedi. I have a feeling you get to see Boyoga's character become a Jedi. That's my feeling on it. And you'll probably also get to see this guy kind of advance through the ranks of the Sith. I think that'd be very cool.
It would be. And there's also what's her name? Captain Phasma, being played by. She's in Game of Thrones.
Ooh, I know who you're talking about. Yes.
Ridley? Something Ridley?
No, it's like Christine something. She's blonde. I forget what her name is.
Hold on. Just give me a minute to think.
Give him a minute to type into IMDb.
Totally. Yeah. I can't. I'm trying to think. I'm gonna suck into that.
I'm already doing it for the sake of the video, even.
Gwendolyn Christie
or Robinson.
Oh, you guys found it before I did.
Gwendolyn Christie is who plays Captain Phasma.
Okay, wait. What? Give me your name again.
Oh, that's not Christina from Game of Thrones.
No, Gwendolyn Christie.
Okay.
Okay, I see what you mean.
She's playing Captain Phasma. And I'm curious as to if this is going to be another incident like with Greedo, if it's going to be a male character played by a female, or if Captain Phasma is a female stormtrooper, which we never really saw in the original trilogy. And is she going to have the significant role to Kylo Ren? Maybe she's the right-hand man of him or something.
That's interesting. So she's playing a stormtrooper?
Yes.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
And I'm just curious as to see where it goes. And I'm also really skeptical as to, of course, John Boyega is playing Finn Calrissian, which is Lando's son. So this film is taking place roughly a full generation after the, destruction of the second Death Star or the events of Return of the Jedi. So does Daisy Ridley, I'm actually going to look up what her role is.
Oh, Phasma, like PH.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you're on the vanityfair.com thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's supposed to be like a big reveal moment where she takes off her helmet and it's like, oh, it's a girl.
It's like sexiness.
Yeah.
It's already out. It's already leaked. So.
I know, but so it's ruined.
For us, but not for the people in the show.
She is from Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he threw me off when he said Christine, because there is also Christine.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of what.
That trips me out. That's like the only scene from Game of Thrones that I've seen is when this chick dies. Is when she fights off a bunch of people but die. Or no, actually she doesn't die. She just fights off a bunch of soldiers. She doesn't die.
So Daisy Ridley is playing the character Rey, but I don't think we know what her last name is. So I'm curious as to if she's the daughter of Han and Leia or Luke and Mara Jade.
I think it'd be Luke and Mary.
Mara Jade. Well, I don't know though, because why would her last name be? Wait, what's her last name?
He
don't
doesn't
know.
have one.
Wow, I was thinking that her character's last name was Ridley.
No,
Yeah,
that would be kind of interesting though.
she's
I like-
probably.
She's your standardized, you know. You got, like,
But that is something that I'm just like, where does she go? Who does
pretty
she
cool because
belong
she's
to?
British.
Yeah, and so is John Boyega. And it's interesting because there are a few images, I don't know if they're concept art or what, where he is wearing a jacket. This is, I'll explain this but at the point in a minute, that he has Luke's lightsaber. And I remember he's wearing that jacket in the second trailer when he's being helped by Daisy's character and they're running away from an explosion. And if you'll remember in the first trailer, we see him on a planet, I think it's a Jakku, that looks like Tatooine, and we see him again in the second trailer in the stormtrooper armor taking his helmet off with a look on his face that where he knows he's done something wrong. So I'm curious I have two theories. He's either someone who's force sensitive and he doesn't know it, and he's part of the First Order, he's one of the stormtroopers, and he gets stranded there, and Rey helps him up. It's like, I will
What's his name again?
help the actor or the character.
Yeah, actor.
John Boyega.
John Boyega.
Yeah. Or if he is part of this band of rebels and has always been with them, and this is another occurring event of, the Han and Luke and Stormtrooper armor and going undercover. So I'm curious to see where that goes.
So is it confirmed that he's Lando Calrissian's son?
Yes, if you look it up if you look up the cast, it is Finn Calrissian.
Interesting, and that would make sense as to how we got into the Stormtrooper thing, because, I don't know, though, because Calrissian kind of, betrayed the Empire by the end, didn't he?
Yeah.
I don't even know if he really ever worked for the Empire, but he was definitely in cahoots with them.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, anything could happen. I think
What are
that's
your
cool.
guys' speculation?
You know what's great about his face is he kind of looks like one of the options in Knights of the Old Republic.
He does.
He looks so in my mind he really belongs in Star Wars. I'm gonna try to find. He just looks like he belongs. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna try to find Kodor.
Kareen, what do you think? Are they even still here?
I know. Where did everybody go?
I'm here.
Oh.
This is just not a topic that I'm able to comment on.
Okay.
Oh.
So I'm just letting you guys hash it out and waiting for the next topic so I don't get in the way.
I mean, do you have anything you want to add to it? You're more than welcome to.
I really don't have anything to add because this is not a topic that I'm very familiar with. At the
Oh,
moment.
okay.
Okay.
Do you like
So
Star
I don't
Wars?
oh yes, I like Star Wars. I just don't want to comment and get in the way of your guys' discussion because I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
Well, yes, yeah,
Okay.
I see what he meant by not wanting to jump in there with everything. But I mean, it's just.
I mean, if I have something to
guys
add,
need-
I'll add it. But at the current moment in time, I don't have anything
The
to
way I
add.
see it is with this conspiracy theory thing. When I overtake things and then I get excited for something, I get disappointed because it's not at all how I imagine it. So I let things play out.
Okay.
But as far as something else, changing topic, Fantastic Four, that's also coming.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Fantastic Four.
I'm curious as to why the Human Torch is black. That's what I want to know.
I was
Yeah.
about to say that.
I was
I
gonna
hate
say
to be racist, but
right. I mean, but is it? I mean, because it is just kind of changing something about a character that's kind of like, okay, that's fine, but why though? Does it like no, like we have to throw in I don't know. It seems strange, but I mean, movies often take liberties where they're like, okay, well, if this actor can play a character better than anybody else, then why not? But I think that it was a deliberate choice at the same time. I just think when I first saw the trailer, I was like, watch, they're gonna make him the Thing.
That'd be
we'll
hilarious.
have a black guy be one of the main heroes, but he's gonna be the Thing. I was just waiting for that. But no, I think it's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it matters.
I mean, here's
Well,
the
it doesn't
thing.
quite line up with
Still
the
confused.
comic books either.
that is
Right.
something that I take into consideration.
But then again, the stereotypical amount of people with the movies and comic book thing, sadly enough, it's dropping. The comic book race is slowly fading away.
It is. That is something I'm kind of sad to see. That comic books are coming less and less like present because people are either getting them digitally or just not caring about them at all, or watching
definitely.
video versions of them.
Well, what I want to actually also address is that there's a lot of times they'll recast a certain character, like in the original Fantastic Four. Why was Sue Storm young and hot? She's supposed to be a middle-aged woman who's, yes,
Exactly.
was beautiful or whatever, but
And people will be able to get past it. If
Yeah.
you're really nitpicky, then you'll be like, hey, I'm a gas. I don't want to see it just because the guy's black and in the comic book he was Caucasian.
right, yeah, it's yeah.
I mean, also, I am pretty excited to see. Now, I got confused. I watched multiple videos. The one trailer, the way I seen it, I was like, is this a remake? And then I looked at, they are bringing some new things to it.
Right.
There is some sort of romance going on.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see that. And it's going to conflict between, their everyday lives and, their superhero lives. Obviously, last time that happened with the Thing about, how he got depressed and everything. And he was on that whole spiel of, hey, I'm a superhero, I'm badass. But I also have a sensitive side and I don't enjoy destroying everything I sit on.
Yeah, and there was kind of a comical aspect where, he would go to his wife's old house and kind of just like, oh, man, and he'd have to walk around in a trench coat and a hat at first. And
Yeah. He reminded me of one of the Ninja Turtles movies.
Yeah.
They did that.
Now, how do you guys feel about what Doctor Doom looks like now? He's a little different. I just
It's a change.
scrolled past this picture of him, and it's pretty different than I'm used to.
The Joker changed, Doctor Doom changed.
Oh god, well we can address the Joker in a bit because I want to talk about Suicide Squad on its own.
Yes.
But in fact, we can just launch right into that now because I think we're done talking about Fantastic Four.
Yeah, there wasn't much besides Black Guy.
No, that was just the sort of the one. It's one thing I wanted to bring up. But okay, so I think the Suicide. I was like kind of like ugh about it until I watched the trailer, and then I was like, oh,
it's gonna get real.
okay.
It's gonna get real.
And that was my like exact internal reaction was, oh,
Things are gonna get crazy.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, Jared Leto's.
Now, yeah, Jared Leto's Joker, I'm still not big on. I don't like how he looks. I think it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I think it's
Ledger.
No. Jared Leto's. I think it's placating to a very specific audience, and I think same with Harley Quinn. I think that it's really trendy and really lame, and but I don't know. I'm gonna reserve judgment when I see it. It might make more sense, and not only that, but.
He just seems like a naturally mental person. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose so. I see it and I just go, I just see through, like, I know what their target audience is, 100% who they're trying to approach.
I mean, now, don't get me wrong, I've always loved the Joker, but this whole freak show approach thing.
Yeah.
The whole circus freak thing, it's not getting me.
Oh, is that a part of his backstory?
No, that's what I portray it as when I see that in there.
Okay.
And, I mean, when you think of that, you think sideshow type of, freak or whatever. And that's not wrong or anything, but I'm used to the sick, sadistic, hey, I got a smile and lipstick and I'm going to kill your whole family and laugh it off and light a cigarette.
That part where he's torturing somebody, he goes, I'm not going to kill you. I'm just going to make you hurt a lot. Apparently, that is Harley Quinn that he's torturing.
Ooh.
And I think that's her turn to madness. And from that, and these pictures that I'm seeing of her, she looks like a straight-up prostitute. I think the way that they're going to portray it is like that. Like Joker's kind of made her his bitch a little bit. Like, I don't know. It seems like that from the trailer.
Well, if you think about
degrading a little bit, but I don't know. That's probably way off.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this: that to me, the Joker has always been Heath Ledger. He's the first Joker I really saw.
Okay.
And I just have a
He
special
left that
place
taste
in my heart.
He left the taste in your mouth.
Sure, but I mean, he's just always captured the moment for me. And of course, Mark Hamill being the best Joker voice, which is kind of interesting to think. Kind of back to the topic of Star Wars, that Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker's playing this evil sadistic villain is
Yeah.
just kind of interesting.
It's
But-
a turn.
I mean, I can. What? Jared Leto. I'm skeptical. Like, I'm not really.
I think
it's
he's
not-
a good actor.
Well, going back
Yeah.
to the
He
Harley
has
Quinn,
potential.
Yeah.
I like his voice too. I like the voice he used, but I think the only honestly, and I don't think it was his fault, or maybe it was because he's a musician too. Who knows? Maybe it was him that was like, "Hey, maybe I should have a bunch of tattoos." I mean, I'm not going to put that on him. I honestly just think his design is awful. I think that everything but the design is good. I just don't like the ha 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 tattoos and the tattoo of the jester with a skull and the smile on his
Yeah.
arm and the short dyed green hair and just the whole punk rock thing he's going for.
Yeah,
just
He
kind of
needs
makes me
longer hair and a
annoyed.
purple suit.
Yeah.
hey guys. I was trying to make a comment earlier on the Harley Quinn thing.
Yo,
about
do tell,
how
yeah.
he's kind of.
Yeah.
If you think back to the original Batman, like cartoon,
Like the
the
60s.
original Batman, the '60s cartoon, the Joker wanted absolutely nothing to do with Harley.
Oh, really?
Like
You have a point. You have a very
nothing
valid
I don't remember
at
that.
all to do with Harley.
And
She
She
was
was
just kinda
always
like crazy stalker?
annoyed at. Yeah, she wanted to be with the Joker, but he thought her as more of a nuisance.
Right. Well, they'll probably keep that. Oops. Maybe.
Maybe.
And if they
Go
do
ahead.
change that in Harley, I believe that there's going to be a little bit of a, because Harley's always been, the Joker has always had an annoyance to Harley.
Right.
Yeah.
He's never
Well-
really had her as a.
They portrayed it a little differently in the Arkham games. Like he seemed to kind of love her in those games, but she was
Yeah,
also
but
probably a bit disposable.
If you think the back to the original series, if you've ever seen it, you know the pudding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah. She kind of annoyed the hell out of him.
She really
She really
did.
did. Maybe
And-
it's his sadistic way of like payback. Is making him his, for lack of a better word, his bitch essentially. Maybe it's like a
Right,
really
well-
twisted way of.
It might not come across that way. It's just me seeing her whole costume is so like
Childish.
Yeah.
snooty.
K-pop go-go girl.
Yeah.
the
Oh,
corner on the
totally.
street?
Absolutely.
It's a bit
Yeah. She does. She looks like a K-pop prostitute. With
Now
yeah.
I have not seen the new Harley,
I mean,
but I
Yeah, I
have
know how-
heard about how they are going to do it.
I mean,
So
I
if one of
think
you
they're
guys can
kind of.
shoot me a link to a picture, that'd be nice.
I got you. Since it's pretty close to the I guess.
I think this will be an appropriate time to segue. I have a few other things I wish to discuss
Ooh,
aside from films.
inappropriate search. Inappropriate search.
Good job.
Don't search K-pop prostitute.
I didn't plan on it anyway, so. This is another thing. I guess kind of with saying she looks young, is that nowadays kids are being just spoiled in society. iPhones at the age of 9 or 10, and of course I
Well-
understand it's a family kind of thing,
Right.
but I'm like, why?
That's because you gotta look at the way that you were brought up. I mean, society is just changing. Simple as that. And you gotta get adjusted to it because we were brought up on handhelds and whatnot and video games. And phones weren't even thought of for us, until a certain age and time when, Nokias came out. But you gotta think about it. Nokias and stuff.
I've come around to the thought that it's kind of like, as far as technology goes, I mean, it's a tool. There's a purpose for it. It can be educational. There's a lot of value in the entertainment value of it.
Freedom,
the ability
how I
to
see it.
freely share your art and all that. So spoiling them is kind of up to the parents. Now, what I don't like is that kids are completely desensitized to awesome.
Yes, you can show them. I could show them my 1983 Return of the Jedi Snowtrooper still on the card, and they just
Sure.
be like, eh.
Well,
They wouldn't care.
I'm sorry to break it to you, Nick, but a lot of society would be like, eh.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only a handful of people that will be like, sir?
Right?
I mean,
think
like
you
I
show them-
saw a picture of Obama and Uhura together the other day, given the "Live Long and Prosper" sign, and I was like, "That's the coolest thing ever." But I think most society would be like, "Eh." But nonetheless, like kids don't realize that like our president does stuff that no president has ever done, like, and that's kind of awesome in a way. Or like kids don't really realize that like, oh yeah, you're holding a computer in your hand that's more powerful than a computer was like in 2000 that you had on. Well, maybe not 2000, but you know what I mean. Like
yeah,
that's incredible. That's insane.
it is, and I even have to take a minute and like
They
my
grew up.
phone
You
can
gotta,
do.
you gotta like think of it this way. Sorry to interrupt you. They grew up in the area of twerking and selfies. It's not gonna get murdered.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Twerking with their selfie sticks.
There you go.
Yeah,
Damn kids twerking with their selfie sticks.
get off my lawn.
You get off my forum. This is a private forum in which we discuss World of Warcraft, pre-Panda Express expansion, and
Only DLC content.
Cold War 1, and Spyro the Dragon, and
No,
Betamax.
Pre-
Trying to think of old
preservations
technology
of-
things.
Yes.
That's another thing. A preservation of old things like that. I mean, now there's at first when the NES came out, it was like, yeah, we're gonna have it. Then for a while, it's like it kind of was like, who cares? But now there's just the sudden reboot, and it's like, oh, we have to have all the retro things, or the world is going to explode. Like there's just it's almost like there's a lust for old technology now.
A lust? That's a new one.
It is.
Speaking
But
of
think
lust,
about it.
can we address all the rogue scientists in society?
Yes.
Uh,
The rogue scientists.
Now, I mean, what were you saying about it, Nick? Something about criticizing NASA while not contributing anything.
Yeah, like if NASA comes out with this article and it's NASA,
Right.
and someone somehow manages to prove them wrong and give evidence, then they change it. Why is that person not working with or for NASA?
Right.
I mean,
They
there's
should
so
improve it.
much untapped potential in society, and no one wants to speak up
Right.
because it's like people are afraid of being,
it's the pressure.
I think a lot of people these days have gotten used to the fact that they can pretend on the internet. They can sort of they can put down whatever they think, and then any response goes through their filter, like we were talking about earlier, and they can go, oh, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. This person's trolling. This person's stupid. Everybody except for me doesn't know what they're talking about. So I can sit here and pretend like I know better about space or whatever it is.
Than anybody.
And I can just live out that fantasy. But if they really did, I think you're right. They would go to NASA and they would try to improve shit.
yeah, totally.
But there's still the
It's-
pressure aspect. Which I'm all thinking.
Definitely.
It's
Oh,
like the
that
moment
too.
of
Oh, sure.
I would hate to have that pressure, putting stuff out and then being criticized, even if it's right. It's just too much. It's only meant
Yeah.
for certain people. Just because someone is intelligent enough to point something out doesn't mean they'd be able to cope with it all.
That's
I know
true
I
too,
would.
yeah.
But yeah, the whole
it's-
road science, I agree.
And it's a lot easier to point out a problem than to come up with a solution.
There you go.
Oh yeah, because no one wants to put in the work and effort to try to have a solution or to reason with people. There's no negotiation in a lot of things.
It's
all
like there's a
just-
problem. Yeah, it's like there's a
all just
problem
fighting.
there. A problem there. It was like my old English teacher. Oh my gosh. Hey, look, here's my essay. Oh, let me look. There's a problem here, 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 and here. Would you like to help me resolve? No.
It's kind of degrading that people will just point out your problems but not help you with it.
Right,
And-
yeah.
To know that society's come down to that, we kind of have to ask ourselves, how can we fix this? Will we? And what's the point of it?
See, like, yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. I think we'll come around eventually and start to realize, like, oh, wow, this is a useful tool. This isn't just like the hate box that I can like vent on. This is
Pretty much.
this is a means of communication with the entire world. We could all be working 24/7 to advance our human race forward instead of tearing each other apart from the inside.
But you know
Definitely.
that'll never happen.
Oh, I think it could.
Eventually.
If you just, I can contradict you there just a bit, because if you think human nature, think about it.
I will.
Human
Okay.
nature.
Well, think of
thinking.
just we'll take all of the humans and we'll just think of Americans. When have you ever seen the average American help another American?
I help other Americans all the time. I think it
Are
depends
you
on where
the
you
average
live.
American?
Well, I guess what one person is the average American?
Yeah,
I mean that's kind of
one thing I have to.
an
like,
illogical statement.
It really is. There is no such thing as the average American anymore because we're all just
Well,
so
if you think
dependent and
you're
different.
you're walking around in Chicago, for example,
Chicago.
and you see a man on the
Holding his
side of the
khakis.
street. He looks kind of in a bad place right now, and he has a sign. I need food. 9 out of every 8 people are gonna pass him by.
Right, but
You
that's
also-
taught by society though. That's not just
exactly.
human nature. That's
That's not
what
human nature at
we're
all.
told to
That
believe
was
that
hung upon us.
we're told to believe that
He just
guy.
wants money.
Well, yeah, he's lazy. He got there because of his own problems, his own addictions, his own shortcomings, his own weaknesses, his own
If you looked up
inability to apply himself.
I think
We don't
I
see
But
a
that's
human
human
being-
nature to assume something is the issue when it's
I don't
not
know if
actually
that is
the
human
issue.
nature, though.
Poochie.
I don't know if that is human nature.
Yeah, you got to give a different scenario. Here's a better scenario, if I will. Car trouble. Basically, you got jumped. So there's a guy, and he has his signs on. This happened a few nights ago. I was coming back from work, and I had jumper cables in the car.
Mhm.
This guy, he was like, he had his hazard lights on. He was just paused there, right off of one of the exits. Cars passing and everything. I don't know. I'm Dominican and African American, so I don't know if I am the average American, but I pulled out the jumper cables, and I'm like, all right, let's do this. And
Right.
he's a nice guy and everything like that. And as simple as that.
And-
Now,
Mm.
nature does show you have to also carry good judgment and be aware of your surroundings.
And
Right.
Because the
very
things going
true.
around in this world right now are insane. You wouldn't believe the stuff that's going on.
Yeah.
One
Therefore,
thing
And
I-
there are certain people who do take advantage and who do just kind of, so you do have to, there's a limit, and there is a degree of truth to the fact that, like, yeah, we are each our own sort of vessel, and we're all kind of responsible for our own behavior. So there's a degree. Sorry, I just got a text.
No problem. But yeah, I see where he's going with it.
I mean,
Yeah,
we
I-
all
I
kind of
like
have
the
to make
big
our
one.
own way, but at the same time, some people fall through the cracks, some people this or that. I mean, I don't know what the exact issue is. I do know that we have such an abundance, though. I mean, I don't know, like, we could be feeding everybody, like, but we have this mentality of greed, and why? We throw out so much food, and we sort of...
Allow me to interject and reference something. This was a post on Facebook of a video. There's a man out on the streets, and he's blind, and he has a sign that says, help, I can't see or something, and then there's just so many people passing him. Then this one lady comes by and picks up his sign and changes it to, it's a beautiful day, and I can't see it, and then puts it next to him. And so many more people just immediately come in and start, giving him money.
What?
And-
I don't understand.
It's emotional manipulation.
Yeah.
No, it
And
kind
it's
of
just-
is, but it's not. I mean, it's what it really is artistic. It's conveying a feeling through.
Yeah, instead of blatantly
Expression.
putting it.
It's making people go, oh, like it's forcing people to relate to this man as a human being.
Yeah.
See, but going back to what I was saying about you were saying about having good judgment.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
had something happen to me the other day that
Explain.
changed how my opinion on the everyday person is.
Go on.
And I was out on a little drive, screwing around, doing nothing, and I saw this lady with a sign in it, and her kid was standing there. Lost my job, got laid off, need money for food. So, me being me, I gave her $10. But here's the thing: you'd figure if they got laid off and they needed money that badly, they wouldn't have a car. But here's the thing: they get in this nice Cadillac, So me being
gotta
the
realize a lot of
suspicious
this
person I
is scam.
am,
Yeah.
I followed them. And it
Uh-oh.
turns out they live in one of the nicest neighborhoods, most expensive neighborhoods in.
Well, I don't know if that's representative of all homeless
No,
people.
but here's what happened. It happened again. I've seen this happen 3 separate times.
Are you shitting me, Poochie?
No. The
It's the
same
same.
thing happened with 3 separate groups.
People just have no chill.
This is a trend. You do realize that. It's like instead of, getting a job, they play the innocent and I need help card. And that's what
Right.
makes it hard for the people who are actually. I live in a big city. I live in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Therefore, I am forced to deal with tons of stuff like this. So when I'm downtown, it's hard to decipher who really needs
Good
what.
from the bad.
So what I do is I see a skeptical character asking for money. There's a food vendor nearby. I'll be like, all right, well, I'm not gonna give you cash, but if you want food, let's go. Now I've done that only once, and it was only because I could tell this guy because I've seen him passing on my way to work countless times. And while I'm waiting for the bus, when sometimes he would like sit there and talk to me and everything. So I ended up getting him something from 7-Eleven at one point of time. But it's hard.
You guys have 7-Elevens up there.
We have everything. But it was just hard to decipher what's what. So you never know.
How long have you been casting for?
Come again?
We've
How long have
been
we been casting for?
going for an hour 26.
Yeah.
Now,
I
what
think
I'm
we
thinking. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we go as long as we need to, and then I can just clip out some of the unessential stuff.
There you go.
Yeah.
But then
And
it's
then-
not a podcast.
And well, I don't think it's a podcast anyway because there's video involved, and I don't want to.
Video.
Well, yeah, this whole time I've been looking up images that kind of correspond with our conversation.
Give visual aids.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
I think this is an appropriate time to segue into what I'm going to put in as the closing topic. Is that this will soon be replaced with follow-up in the next episode where, and dear listeners, please, or viewers, whatever you're called, please give us feedback, in the comment section below, or we'll leave our email addresses too if you want to contact us. Suggest topics for us to discuss, tell us what you thought and that kind of thing. But that will be follow-up will be in the beginning of the podcast next time. I mean, there really was no follow-up for this because
My first one.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I conclude with this I'm beginning the conclusion with this. How has everyone been?
Well, wait, because I think we can talk about this, but
In the beginning.
well, no, I think we could talk about this right now or whatever. But there's still a few topics I wanted to cover, and
I'm sorry.
because no, it's cool because I think there's a lot of dead space and a lot of ums that I can edit out and just stuff like that. So we can
there's
shorten it
one.
way down, and I'll tighten it up, and I'll put all the certain stuff in one spot where we're talking about nerd stuff because there's still a couple more movies I wanted to talk about.
I agree. Things he's got tracked off with Star Wars 90%.
Like
007.
yeah, 007 Spectre.
I'm not aware of this.
It looks all right.
Is it another Daniel Craig film?
It is, yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, I'm kind of I
There's-
guess it'll be all right.
There seems to be some
It's gonna
kind
be
of
another James Bond
intrigue.
film.
Well, I don't really like the Skyfall
Okay.
because if our viewers out there have ever seen the original
Doctor
James
No.
Bond movies, Octopussy, Doctor No, Goldfinger, any of those.
Even
Octopucci.
GoldenEye. I would say GoldenEye is a
And
good one.
You remember? Everybody remembers Q.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old guy, loves explosives, things like that. In the new Skyfall, he was young, stupid young.
You do have
And-
to realize. Yeah, I mean, you gotta find. They do. I know. It's an I've heard this one.
I can see where
I
they're
mean,
going
at
from with that.
least
Is that-
find another older actor instead of making him completely different.
I mean, I actually like that because he brought a new spin to the table. They wanted to bring current events into this, and new
Yeah.
technology. And with an older guy, guy isn't gonna pull out an iPhone and do this and that on it. Well, he could, but they wanted to make it more relatable.
You know what's funny
see
is
why
it kind of destroys and reinforces the theory that Bond is a different person, like it's just a code name, and that there actually has been different James Bonds
Yeah, I agree.
or 007s, and that but because on the one hand, the age difference doesn't make any sense.
It's kind of like the Doctor. It's the same person but different.
Right? Yeah, but yeah.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
I completely forgot what I was gonna say. It's all right though.
Don't you have a list?
We do, and we have not. Some of the we get off topic. I have it right in front of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
off topic.
Can we talk about how the rumors of the Spider-Mobile and the rich Peter Parker? Parker Industries.
I think that
That would ruin Spider-Man for me.
Yeah.
Just because
Because
I've read the comics, I've seen the old movies and some of the new movies, which aren't bad. They do follow the new movies do follow the comic series a lot better than the old ones did. But
Yeah.
having a rich Peter Parker would kill the entire series.
Right.
Definitely. Because he's supposed to be this guy who lives with his aunt who is
peeking
brought
at
up.
his neighbor.
Yeah. Not
And
this,
then there's an old man in the view. Oh wait, no,
Not-
that's Green Hornet.
not this guy who's like, oh, I'm very successful and have this.
I mean, we don't know.
company."
We don't know the full story on this. We don't know how.
It sounds like
True.
Batman with superpowers.
I mean, it depends. It could be portrayed as, hey, I'm Peter Parker, and I'm your average kid. And then he does something and gets really famous and recognized for it. And then it goes into a
Will
flash
they find out
forward.
he's Spider-Man?
Who knows? We don't know. It's just a rumor, and it may be true. It may not
I
be
think
true.
I think it's a technology company.
There you go.
Already talked about it. We're talking about different things.
What?
I have somebody else in the room with me, so my viewers at home,
Oh.
I share a room with my brother. So if you ever hear just this random voice, it's not me, Nick, Anthony, or Karen.
That's Big Poochie. And did you call me Karen?
Karen.
Dear Lord.
I apologize, I'm horrible with names.
I know you called me Korean because you heard me say Korean.
No, you sound like you're saying Korean when you say your name.
We've already established this. Let's move on. Easy.
I was thinking that my initial thought was that the Spider-Mobile was just a travesty of an idea, and that he
Because-
doesn't need it. It seems like a
Yeah.
marketing thing. It seems like a merchandising thing. But the only way I think that it would work, or maybe I should say, and the only way that I think it would work, is that if a villain got hold of it and then he was, gallivanting about town with this car, and then Spider-Man has to go after this car that's got his same abilities, and then it's a bigger, challenge for Spider-Man. He's got to outsmart his own technology and this and that. But to see Spider-Man in a car is going to ruin it for me. I don't want to see
Definitely.
Spider-Man in a Spider-Man themed car.
I want to
That's-
see him
fucking
slinging
dumb.
through skyscraper.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
the same thing. In the old series, he had his web slinging abilities in his body. In the new series, he had to build something for his web slinging
No, he
abilities.
still had it naturally, but he had to enhance it.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
I missed that part.
I remember that it instilled within him the knowledge of the chemical makeup. Like he just understood how to make it, and then he built the whole device himself. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know actually. I don't even know.
We'll have to put some research into that and touch back on it next time.
I like that we don't know a lot of the things that we're talking about.
Oh, we don't. We're just clueless.
Well, we're all amazing.
Because a lot of these shows have this one guy who's just like, well, actually, but we're all just kind of like, yeah, I don't know how that works.
And I
Well,
think that's
I'm
right.
suspecting Poochie's brother to just jump in out of nowhere.
I know. Actually,
Well,
guys.
actually, guys, I know I'm not part of this or anything, but if I may add, this stereotypical term comes from.
Who just said they weren't a part of it?
We'll have to train him to do that. I said I was pretending to be Poochie's brother. He's like, well, actually,
Oh.
I know I am not officially a part of this anymore,
Yeah.
but if I may
But
interject.
yeah, if I may interject.
If you may, it's like we have to give him permission to survive.
I mean, we're not gonna. We'll die eventually. There's survival here.
Yeah,
We're not
no, right?
hostile at all.
We don't live in a
That's
survival based society. Actually, we kind of do, depending on where you live.
We're on that whole spiel, tell me, quote, and I quote, I went outside once. The gameplay was horrible, but the graphics were amazing.
Yeah.
I think they could be better.
You're one of those. They could. Depends on where you live.
Like honestly, the processing power that they're dealing with, they're seriously. It's all a marketing thing. They're releasing the shitty graphics early on, and then they're not going to release the good graphics until the very end of the run. And by that time, you're already going to have an Xbox 2.
Wait, what is?
We were talking about real life, but okay.
Yeah.
And
Wait, what? Oh, I know.
It's okay.
This is all a simulator, isn't it?
Oh yeah, he's brainwashed. Yeah, totally.
Oh wait, I haven't been making searches at all through any of this.
Congratulations.
It's just been my background, which for some reason is the same as it's been since last night. But it's a pretty cool background, so like a bitchin'
That
wolf.
moment when you realize we do need this.
I told you guys. I told you so.
Is there anything else we need to cover?
No, I mean, not in my department.
I wanted to briefly touch on Ant-Man.
All right. That's
I have
one
nothing
thing.
to say.
You guys excited? I like Paul Rudd. There's not a whole lot about it that I'm like, oh, whoa, but I like Paul Rudd,
Yeah.
so I mean,
Is that all of
it's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah.
Okay. Glad,
Now-
glad you got that out.
Thank you.
We'll move into our last segment. How's everyone been, and where do we want to see this podcast go?
I want to see it go to the tippy top, the topmost with the
tippy-top.
popmost.
There you go.
That's
Hey, that is just well put. And what else we could say better because
that was pretty.
Senpai Anthony here, just like tippy top.
Yeah, he wants us to push ourselves.
We are gonna reach the charts and we are gonna excel. Also, I don't think it's a podcast, but fair enough.
We're calling it a
will call it
podcast.
our own thing.
Yeah. What about you, Poochie? What do you wanna? Where do you want this to go?
Well, we kind of lost base with our podcast. This doesn't really fit the definition of a podcast.
You know what's
If you
funny
want
is
to be honest.
I've got the official definition of a podcast up on my computer right now for everyone to
Let's
read.
see it.
A digital audio file made available on the internet for downloading to a computer or portable media player, typically available as a series, new installments of which can be received by subscribers automatically.
Oh my
yeah.
gosh! Then we fit this.
Yeah, we kind of
Yeah.
do. It actually doesn't have to go on iTunes to be a podcast.
But I
Yeah,
think
but I just think we should do. I mean, we are the 72 pins. This is a video game themed
I would say nerd culture.
Yeah.
nerd. We need to do the discussions are a great start, but I think we can eventually branch out to all of us getting on, a popular
Topic.
game
yeah.
and then doing like reviews on it and things of what we think our opinions are of it and how it could.
I have a
I-
quick on that.
I could see where you're coming with that.
And just we should, eventually get to the point where we can include that kind of stuff in our podcast and all of us record and different things.
I
Guys, listeners, let us know what you think. Should we go with this idea? Should we just stay with a podcast? Like, what?
Are
what
we an
do y'all
internet
want?
show?
What do you want to see?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you guys want us to talk about? Because you've heard us just dish about nothing with
This
no
is
real.
basically just talking about current events.
Yeah, we just kind of went. But if anybody is like, hey, you guys should talk about what? Well, I want to hear what you guys think about this.
Well, that's another thing. So if you
I'd
guys
love to
want
know
to
what you
suggest
guys-
topics,
Yeah.
if you guys want to suggest topics for anything,
Feel free.
feel free to in the comments below. And also, I know I can't stop you guys, but no hate.
Yeah,
Like,
please,
these are
please.
all our opinions. We do not own any of the content discussed above, other than our name and our eventual logo. But just try to keep the hating to a minimum. I mean, we understand you guys will have negative opinions, but
mean,
don't
that's-
just go on an angry, hateful rant for
Poochie,
no reason other than you're looking for things.
I have to say, Poochie, that the a surefire way of getting hate is to ask for no hate.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Read my lips and beat me to it. I was gonna interrupt
Well,
you, Anthony, and then you got to it.
I'm sorry.
You can't I know you can. That's a surefire way to ask for it, but if you just say that you don't want it, and people do, then it just shows that they're looking for an outlet. They're looking to make themselves more popular in some way,
I
Looking
see
for
what
an
you mean.
outlet?
Yeah.
grab attention.
Sorry.
I see what he means, but
Yeah, I completely understand where you're going from with that statement of knowledge
greatness.
and
Power.
But anyway, Senpai Anthony was in the middle of something, I believe.
he was.
What was I doing?
We don't know. You were about to say actually, and you never continue. So Senpai Anthony, you have the floor.
I don't know. What's sandpie mean?
Senpai.
Senpai.
Master.
Oh, I like that.
Senpai
Oh.
Anthony.
Yikes! Also, inappropriate search. Don't search senpai.
Oh yeah, don't. Unless it's for karate.
Anime reasons.
Right.
Or anime.
Yeah.
The first searches are going to be anime related.
Wait, anime related is the good kind, unless it's
Yeah.
the hen of the tide, which we don't want.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It looked like it was going. I have safe search on, but you still can't really trust.
Scrolling,
Google
you're scrolling,
sometimes.
you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
I do have the Urban Dictionary for senpai right here.
Please don't. Please don't.
It's not bad. It's actually really funny.
Just no.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's not bad at all.
I don't
got
know
you.
what-
Like someone who will never notice you.
I don't know
That's the
what I was
joke.
going to say, but
Nah.
it doesn't matter.
I think we should.
Oh, that's what it actually means.
Yes.
Oh crap.
You know, I think
never
next time we should address our favorite bald people.
Oh
Yes.
my god.
We should have a conversation about our favorite bald people.
This
'Cause
is
I
the
have a
actual
whole list
Japanese
here.
definition. Am I allowed to read it? Because that's actually pretty interesting.
Nah. Save it for next time. We'll put it in follow up.
Why
Well,
are we
you-
bringing-
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be a cliffhanger.
All right.
Even though anybody can just go and look it up themselves.
Look it up.
I think this will be a good place to stop now. If each of you will excuse me. I'll do the
Okay.
outro. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we thank you for listening to our podcast, and remember to look forward to the next one. And as always, may the force be with you.